Hello, U.S. History students. We are going to be reading the Week 11 quiz to you in this recording. We'll be reading the questions and the answer options. As you go through the quiz, make sure that you're clicking Save as you complete it. And then down at the bottom after you finish question 10, be sure to save all responses and click Go to Submit Quiz so that it shows up correctly in your gradebook. Question number 1. What was the main reason for the rise of dictators in Europe and Asia during the 1930s? The people wanted leaders that would include them in policy decisions. People were too exhausted to vote. Dictators promised economic recovery and order after World War I. People felt dictators would prevent another war. Question 2. How did the U.S. initially react to war breaking out in Europe? The United States began mobilizing troops in anticipation of entering the war later. Congress encouraged the League of Nations to provide assistance. The United States offered Europeans many more opportunities to immigrate, or Congress stressed isolationism and passed 5 neutrality laws. Question number 3. What was one way FDR, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, provided assistance to England and the other allies in spite of U.S. neutrality laws? Roosevelt sent U.S. troops to assist the British in procuring supplies. England borrowed supplies and the United States was allowed to lease their bases around the world. Roosevelt spoke with Hitler to try to negotiate peace. England requested and received air support to stave off the bombing in London. Question number 4. What eventually brought the United States into World War II? Germany attacked the U.S. ships off the coast of Newfoundland. Italy surrounded U.S. supply ships in the Mediterranean. Japan bombed U.S. ships in Pearl Harbor. Germany invaded France and began bombing London. Question number 5. Which was not a way civilians contributed to the war effort? Rationing, victory gardens, tinfoil drives, paying 10 cents per gallon in gasoline taxes. Question number 6. What did the double V mean for African Americans? Victory and vengeance, participation in military and victory over discrimination, peace and economic prosperity, victory in the war, and victory over Jim Crow laws at home. Question 7. What did the waves and the wax and the symbol of Rosie the Riveter have in common? They showed that women and men could work together for a common good during the times of war. They were efforts to get African Americans to volunteer for the war effort. They were all roles that women played during World War II. They were part of the government campaign to encourage women to work during World War II. Question number 8. Which was the most serious constitutional question raised by the presence of internment camps in the United States during World War II? Most detainees were U.S. citizens and were being held without charges or the prospect of speedy hearings. Camps prevented detainees from exercising the right to bear arms. Detainees were not allowed to speak freely to one another or practice their religions. The press was not permitted to report on activities inside the camps. Question 9. D-Day, June 6, 1944, began the final drive of World War II in the European theater. What event does D-Day refer to? The Allied invasion of Normandy, France, the Battle of Dakar, the bombing of Stalingrad, Russia, or the Battle of the Bulge? Question 10. What was Harry Truman's justification for the use of the atomic bomb to end World War II? The U.S. wanted Japan to suffer for attacking Pearl Harbor. The U.S. wanted to brag to the world about our new power. The U.S. wanted to end the war with fewer U.S. and Japanese casualties. We wanted to destroy Japan's atomic weapons facilities. Question 10 is the last question on the quiz. Make sure all your answers have been saved. Click Go to Submit Quiz. Good luck on your quiz.